Oh, good job. Right. No, you're just like, you see how he flipped
good
that guy?
job, Captain America. You're so cool. You think just because you can save people, you're better?
Well, I'm Matt.
And I'm Carter.
And welcome to It's Kind of a Gray Area.
Yep. So, in 2016, there was a deadly terrorist attack in Lagos, which is spelled like Lagos, but it's pronounced almost like Legos.
Okay.
So, Lagos, Nigeria, where 26 people died, 11 of which were from Wakanda.
Jeez. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's the twist. It's not real.
I see where we're going.
Well, I guess it's real to some people. It's real in your heart. Mm-hmm. The Avengers were responsible for this, which prompted 117 different countries from all around the world to come together and agree that there should be some sort of oversight to these superhuman people and how they operate fighting crime. They wanted to elect a United Nations panel to oversee and deploy the Avengers as they see fit, basically turning them into soldiers for like a global committee.
Like army, basically. Like there's just a little private global army.
Right, there would be like a little special task force, essentially.
Yeah.
But instead of reporting to one country, they would just report to the United Nations. That seems like there would be a lot of conflicting stuff there, right?
Yeah.
117 different countries. That's 117 different agendas.
A good chunk of them were probably at war or a civil unrest.
Yeah, and
where
what
they're
happens...
going to wish like Iron Man would fight for them, or this person would fight for them,
right.
And they're just going to fight back and forth about who would fight.
Right, and we all know how well committees work in general. You know, they say that a camel is a horse designed by a committee. Mm-hmm. Didn't turn out well. Today what we're talking about are the Sokovia Accords.
Yep. From
Captain America, Civil War, which a lot of people forget was not an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I make that mistake myself a lot.
There were enough, same. There were enough Avengers in it and just other superheroes that may not have been Avengers at that time.
Right. Yeah, so that's the topic for today. Were the Sokovia Accords fair? Is it right for the Avengers to have some sort of oversight committee telling them what to do, where to go, what not to do, how they're supposed to use their powers, where they're supposed to be stationed? All of those details that are normally left up to the Avengers to decide for themselves how to best, do your superheroing.
And it really boils down to Captain America versus Iron Man.
Right.
Iron Man represents, yes, we should be under the rule of a committee. People should tell us where we should go, what we should do, to make sure that our public appearance is good and everyone likes us. Which
I think it was more, he was feeling guilty about...
That kid that died.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was feeling guilty, and so I think he just felt like they needed oversight. If there's collateral damage, you're not personally liable. It's, that it's the responsibility of the people who employ you.
It's a cop-out.
Essentially.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to cheapen his stance on it to say it's just a cop-out. He legitimately felt that they needed some sort of oversight. I mean, if you go back to Iron Man 2, he was required by Congress to turn over his technology to the United States Air Force, but he refused to. Yeah. So you go from that, where he's unwilling to allow anyone to use his technology, to him wanting the Avengers to basically be regulated by a government. It's a bit of a character change for sure. Like, he's definitely been through some stuff over the course of the movies between those two. It's really interesting to see him be on that side, and then to see Captain America as the super patriotic Boy Scout who is then completely rebelling against any authority trying to tell them what to do. What side do you fall on with this?
I think Captain America would be my side. First off, he's Captain America. Like, he's like the do-gooder of the group.
Sure.
He has a really good moral compass.
Because the rest of them don't do any good.
I feel like if someone said, yeah, you can use your powers. I know you've been helping people for a long time. And you've only made a few little mistakes compared to the good you've done. But we think that's not fair, and we want to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, where you should and shouldn't go.
Right.
It's like, I mean, well, tell me if there's situations, and I'll help if I can.
Right.
But you can't tell me that I can't go to New York and help with the alien invasion because you have to get a committee together.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right, because if you think about that first movie in the Avengers, they were getting ready to nuke New York.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which, if the Avengers had to answer to a higher authority, they would have had to pull out of the city. They would have gotten that order of like, nope, go ahead and evacuate it. We're just going to nuke it. And they would have been powerless. I mean, they could choose to rebel against that,
so to speak.
But at that point, if you're going to rebel against every decision that you're given, you might as well continue to operate independently. Tough call to make, for sure. I really see Iron Man's side of this. I really do.
Okay.
This isn't just like the American government, right? It's not just
it's the world.
Right. They're not just being forced to go work for the American military or something like that. 117 sovereign nations are uncomfortable with this. Mm-hmm. There's something to be said for that on like a, democratic level. If this many people in the world are in support of this, that maybe you can't just ignore it. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of oversight, but I think that it should not be this very cut and dry thing. I think that maybe they should have more autonomy as an organization, the Avengers, collaborate with world governments instead of being directly underneath them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I just want to say this.
Okay.
So the opening scene of Civil War, they're in...
Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, so that opening scene when stuff goes wrong and Scarlet Witch,
yes,
right, throws the bomb.
Yeah, she's trying to contain the bomb, and then it kind of gets away from her.
So that whole thing was like a strike against, whatever his name is, that the whole thing's going down.
Crossbones.
Man, very good. I can't... some of these names
drop
off.
These are the people that I remember.
So... in the scene, yes, Scarlet Witch throws up the bomb, which the bad guy set off, Crossbones. Set off and hurt some people on like the 50th floor or something.
By hurt, you mean killed 26 people.
Killed 26 people.
Which, that would hurt.
That would probably hurt. I'm not wrong.
Right.
I'm just not also fully correct.
Right.
There's a difference.
Normally I would feel bad about joking about that, but these are fictitious characters. So. Yeah. And not even are they fictitious characters, they're fictitious background characters.
Yeah, you never even see them.
Right.
You never even know what, except for one person, you never even see them.
Let's be honest, we all just want to see superheroes use their powers. The people they're protecting, that's just a backdrop.
Oh yeah, you don't care, they say 300 people? Oh, good job. Right. No, you're just like, you see how he flipped
good
that guy?
Job, Captain America. You're so cool. You think just because you can save people, you're better?
No, we're just like, oh my gosh, he caught that missile, or he flipped that tank, or that's all we care about.
Right. Anyway.
Whether that was just done freelance by the Avengers or they were ordered to go there, it would have been the same freaking situation. Yep. It would have been the exact same thing happening the exact same way. Nothing else would have been different.
Right, because they still would... The whole point of them being there is to use their powers to neutralize the threat.
Yes.
So, if you have to choose between a bomb squad going in or someone who could stand 100 feet back and use her magic glowing red powers to shoot the bomb up into the sky, you're still going to make that call.
That witch.
I know I said I see Iron Man's side on this, but really the more we talk about this, I'm realizing I'm very pro-Captain on this one.
I'm going to take the credit for that and say that I finally...
Yeah, you convinced
me. Convinced you on this show.
I was a little iffy on it coming out of the
gate.
Side. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm coming over to your side. Because here's the other thing I just thought of, too. When Ross shows up to tell them about the Sokovia Accords, he plays back a bunch of footage of some of their kind of worst highlight reel, basically.
Which you should know he enjoyed putting together.
I'm sure. But he plays them back this footage of here's the collateral damage from the Battle of New York, or from fighting Ultron, or from Lagos, Nigeria. But it's a little stupid because he's acting like, you guys let other people get hurt accidentally. When the United States literally just blows up whole cities just to get to a handful of people.
Yeah, the stuff in New York, not their fault.
The fact that when Thanos comes knocking, they're the ones who answer the door.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they should have some input about national security. So we're both on Captain America's side with this. But since I started out on Iron Man's side, I will take that position for the rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, that makes sense.
So let's go ahead and finally put this to rest. Because we know what the Avengers thought. We know what Tony felt about it. We know what Captain America felt about it. But we don't know what the universe thinks.
No one bothers to ask the universe.
Right. That should be on your United Nations panel. Get the universe in there.
Yeah.
Could you picture 117 countries doing rock, paper, scissors to solve all of their problems?
Things will be resolved faster. So let's do this. Universe, speak through us.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, this meant to be
What
paper.
Is that?
This is
karate chop. Much like real ninjas, I did not expect that.
I never saw it coming.
I feel like that should win.
I wouldn't do paper and I don't know what happened. I think this is paper cut, which beats kind of
No, that's a
everything.
karate chop. And I don't think we can ever...
I have to say the universe spoke through me and was like, no matter what he does, you have to win this.
Right. So Captain America wins.
Captain America wins according to the universe.
Right.
I didn't even have control of that. I don't know what's happening.
Well, now that we're done saving the world, do you have the Would You Rather?
Yes, I do actually.
Well, let me hear it.
And
Stop hogging it.
Okay.
Share it with the class.
Yeah, give me a minute. So, would you rather have lunch with a 10-year-old version of yourself?
Okay.
Now, let me clarify.
From this timeline?
From this timeline.
Okay.
A version of yourself that is 10 years older, or you 10 years younger. So, you're 22?
Yes.
Right? So, would you rather have lunch with someone my age?
Right.
With you?
Right.
You want lunch with me?
That's interesting. That's really... Because 10 years older version of me could have a lot of insight about my life. But then also, 12-year-old me, I could go and be that person for him, which would be really cool. I think I would do that. I think I would have lunch with 12-year-old Carter.
For me, it would be 22-year-old Matt or 42-year-old Matt because I'm 32. I would probably want to have lunch with 42-year-old me. I feel like at 22, I was past a lot of the worst stuff.
Yeah.
You're past all the teenage stuff, the kid stuff, the teenage
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, that's basically the point I feel like I'm at now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and so, but 42-year-old me would be like... Yeah, like that would be nice. But like, listen, this is where you're at. This is how you got here. Watch out that third step. You're gonna break your leg again. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh, Bitcoin. Definitely would want to get in.
Don't get me started on that.
Definitely want to get in on that.
I'm just telling you, if I would have invested the money in Bitcoin instead of General Motors, I would buy YouTube.
That's so funny because at the time it's like, oh, it's General Motors. Of course you'll invest in that.
Oh my gosh, yes! Like, they'll never go out. They've been in business for 80 years or something stupid.
You wouldn't want to go back and warn yourself about that?
Well, you can't, because that was like when I was 17, 18.
Gotcha.
It was 3, 4, 5 years past that.
But you could tell 22-year-old version of yourself that if he ever meets a 10-year-old version of himself...
No, Bitcoin was still good, though. Oh, yes, I would go back. Change it. I change it. I would go back and tell myself about Bitcoin.
So you're giving up the life experiences and a wisdom of 42-year-old Matt in exchange for Bitcoin money.
I would still have all that wisdom. I just got to hang in there a little bit longer.
Well, speaking of time, that's about all that we have.
Yeah, it's just about it for today. Sorry, guys. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe.
Change the filter in your Iron Man suit after going number 1.
Ring the notification bell.
Always bring backup if you're going to fight in an airport.
And hail Hydra.
And as always, IKAGA. Yup.